Hi everyone, my name is Juliana and welcome to my channel. Today in this video I want to show you a sort of DIY light modifier, which is a diffuser which can be used for flashlight and natural light, and it's extremely budget friendly. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. So about a year ago I made a video which called $1 background, and basically in it I use a $1 tablecloth that I purchased from a dollar store, and it's in a party supply section. You can go and there's many colors of that, and basically I tested it as background for photography. So if you're interested to see how that turned out, feel free to check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And that video I've mentioned that because the tablecloth was very thin and translucent, I mentioned that it can be also a very good way to diffuse the light. And today in this video I'm going to be testing that. So basically I'll be using a tablecloth, a disposable tablecloth that you can find in dollar store or any party supply store. Just make sure that it's very translucent. That's why I'm going in dollar store, because they're cheap, so they're very thin and they let a lot of light through. If by any chance you don't have any dollar store around, there's party stores that you can go check it out. If you don't have those as well, then you can get a shower curtain. Just make sure that it's not transparent. It's translucent, but it's not opaque. It's not very thick, so it will still let some light through. So I'll be using the ones that I already have, that I purchased for the previous video for the backgrounds, and I have many different colors, but for this shoot today I'll be using beautiful mint green and a gorgeous lilac color. So as you see, my modifier will not act only as a diffuser, but it also give me the hue to my images, so it will also act as a gel. Of course, if you don't want any color effect into your shots, then just go for a white one. But I have to work with what I have, so I'll compromise a little bit. Also for my photo shoot, I don't mind, because the effect, on my opinion, turned out gorgeous. One more thing, because I'll be using color one, I'll just have one layer of them, but you can layer double to make it a little bit thick, so it will diffuse light a little bit better. Or I didn't mention, so in case if you don't know what diffuser is for, it's soften the light and soften this transition between highlights and shadow, create like beautiful gradient between. So just in case, to clarify that. So obviously, if one layer will soften the light, but two layers will soften even more. I'll use only one layer, because when I tested it, two layers give me a quite intense color, which is not bad. It looked beautiful as well. It's just not the effect that I wanted for this particular shoot. So I end up compromising and choose only one layer. If you use white, make sure to try with one layer and then just layer it, double it. I think it will look even better and even softer. So for the frame, I'll be using my stand, my background stand. I rarely use it. I got it years ago on Amazon. Those are very inexpensive one. They're quite flimsy, but they do the job. So if you have a background stand, you can use that, just as I did. If you don't, I think the background stand, if you kind of serious about photography, especially like a studio type of thing, I think it's kind of semi-essential. Again, I'm saying semi because even though I have it, I rarely use it, because I prefer in my studio attach my backgrounds either to the wall or I attach it with the pins to my polystyrene board, but that's just my preference. So as I mentioned, I'll be using my stands as a frame to put my diffuser on. But if you don't have that, I mean, be creative. I can think about few ways. First, you can ask two people to hold it for you, which is an option, but first of all, you need to find two people who would agree to do that. Second of all, with human resources, there's the thing. A, they get tired pretty fast. but even faster they got bored to do that. So I don't really like to use that option, but it is an option. Second, if you don't have any frame but you have a doorway, you can just attach the tablecloth on the doorway and position light on one side and your subject according on the other side. That's the way. Or you can use just some string and put it. I mean, just be creative. In any way, this is a very beautiful, it creates beautiful effect and it's just amazingly inexpensive. Okay, so with this being said, let me show you the set and let me show you the images that I got. Okay guys, so here's the set. As you see, I use as a background just my plain white wall, and you see there is some natural light, but that's for the purpose of this video, because in the settings of my camera I cancel, so you cannot see the available light. What comes to settings on my camera right now, it's shutter 1/25 of the second as usual that I use, aperture 7.1 and ISO 100. And let's go to the lighting. So you see here's my tablecloth, plastic tablecloth as a diffuser on my stand. And as a light, today I'm using my latest addition to my gear is Godox AD200 Pro, and I actually quite like it. And the power on it, I believe 130, yes, it's, as you see, 1/32. Also, I'd like to mention, as you see, my light is kind of directed. As you see, at the subject, I will be sitting on the stool. And here I'm using, as I mentioned, a little bit more powerful light. And you can just use regular flash, it should be enough light. Okay guys, so here I would like to mention that please notice the way I pose. I always turn my face to the diffuser, to the light source, and there is a reason, because I'm trying to avoid all unnecessary shadows on my face, just because it is high contrast setup, because this light is going from my side. But I would suggest you, whenever you pose somebody, make sure that your subject facing the light. That way the face will be lit properly and you will not have all those hard shadows on their face. Okay guys, so here's the set. As you see, I applied the translucent, the tablecloth on the window, and I use my painter, what's called painter's tape, to apply it. So I like it a lot. I use it a lot in my studio, not the gaffer's tape, painter's tape, because I think it's much easier to remove. And as you see, I put my camera, so I'll be using frontal light, so it will go directly. As you see, I have my stool, and as a background I use my gray background, neutral gray. And the settings on my camera are, so obviously my white balance changed, so I've changed it on my camera to sunlight as well, and whenever I shoot with flash, I just put it on flash. And the settings are 1/25 of the second shutter speed. I choose aperture to 4.0 and my ISO 500, and that should be good. I already tested and that's good, so let's start shooting. These are raw. This is the way they came out of the camera. There is no adjustments whatsoever. So let's go over very fast. First of all, I want to say that I absolutely love the way it turned out. I love the effect. You see how beautiful transition between highlights and shadow. It's quite soft, even though, remember, I did not use any other additional modifier. There was bare bulb and just the tablecloth as a diffuser, and it was very, very pretty. I also love this beautiful greenish hue that that it add to all pictures. It almost looked like the filter been applied, which it wasn't. Overall, I think the experiment turned out very pretty. I love the way it turned out. Overall, again, I position the light from the side, so you see the majority of pose I tend to pose toward the light, at least my face. I like the way that high contrast. I like this beautiful gradation between highlights and shadow. I think the whole picture became dimensional. And of course, I need to mention just the background overall. Look what a beautiful tones and colors on the background. It looks so rich already. And this is just from one light and one tablecloth, color tablecloth and a diffuser. Again, of course, you can use just white, plain white, and you will not have that hue. And I do suggest you to try it out. I think it turned out gorgeous. I definitely keep that in mind and probably use it in the future. Yeah, let me know if which one do you like? Do you like that idea, and will you going to try it? And now let's go to the second set. Okay, so here is some example that I took with natural light and the violet, light lilac tablecloth, and it's really pretty as well. Again, I'm very happy. Also, these images are very good example of that you can take fashion photography and beauty photography with natural light if you position the light correctly. Later, when I'll show you the edited images, you will not be able to tell that they've been taken natural light or artificial. Anyhow, when it comes to lilac, you cannot really see here that much purple. It didn't give that much purple as the green give with artificial light, and I think because light is much stronger. Here it was much softer already, but it does give that slight cool magenta effect. I know that because I shoot in my studio, and I know that natural light gives me that warmth that here simply doesn't have. I really like it's beautiful, it's diffused. Again, it's such a easy $1 tablecloth from a dollar store, or you can use a shower curtain, and such a beautiful effect. I definitely recommend it to try it. Diffusion's absolutely beautiful, just nice and soft and airy. Look how much air in the image. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love the effect. As I mentioned, I need to keep it in mind and definitely use it later on. Okay, and now the moment that you've been waiting for, probably, hopefully, I'm going to show you the final edits that I've made. So here's two edited images, the final one with artificial light and green tablecloth. So you see two of them, they're a little bit different color-wise, because for the first one, I've decided to kept everything about the shot, so I didn't do anything, I didn't change any coloring, because I thought that the raw images already came so beautifully. There was really no need to have something extra done, so I just did some minor, like, I did some brightness, just some maybe curves a little bit here and there, just smoothing the skin a little bit, nothing drastic. Basically, I just polished the original image a little bit. For the second one, I couldn't resist because I find that the soft green and lilac are such a beautiful complementary combination. They go so well together, and I just couldn't resist. While I was playing with color, I couldn't resist to add a little bit magenta and lilac into this image, and I thought that it brings such a nice vibe and air and mood here, so I decided to keep it, and now you can see both ways. So this is like an original color story, this is original lighting. This one is a little bit taken further in editing, and I'm happy to show you that obviously even though you use colored, like in my case, diffuser itself had color, you still can process it later and add some colors and maybe change some color story. And if you start with some colors, it might be even more interesting. Okay, and now let me show you the natural light one. So here is the final edit for the natural light one, and I think again that's very pretty. This is kind of classic editorial shot. I think in this way, even though it's been taken with natural light, it can be very well taken with artificial light as well. Beautifully lit. I did very little thing, just I added a little bit more vibrance, and obviously I've changed the color of the skirt. I bring a little bit more lilac here. I just bring some vibrance. I add a little bit brightness, maybe a little bit contrast, soften the the skin a little bit, and that's it. So very little editing. I didn't need to do anything creative. I didn't need to think what I can do as an editor and bring it to the next level, because I thought that already original images was so beautiful. So this is definitely a success for me. And again, I want to mention that the diffuser is only $1, and I do strongly suggest you try it out, because it can be a great trick up to your sleeve as a photographer. I think for natural light it also created beautiful effect. I'll definitely remember it and will be using it in the future with my clients for sure. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about it? Did you use it, or will you want to use it, and which one do you like most? So here was the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you did. Please share this video, spread the love, and help this channel grow and spread the knowledge. If you have any suggestions for the ideas for the next videos, feel free to comment down below, and I'll definitely consider it. If you want to see more of my photography, please visit me on Instagram. It's at _photo. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye!